Robert is pooping. Don't know how long he's gonna take. It'll probably be a few minutes on the toilet. He probably won't make it here for like 10 minutes or so. Do. Robert, stop pooping. Why do you poop so much? It's horrible.
This is A Kettle of Fish. Be sure to subscribe and listen to each episode at akettleoffishpodcast.com or your favorite podcast app. Here are your hosts, Robert and Paul.
Yeah, so for anybody listening to this, welcome back.
Welcome back to the attack.
Assuming we still have an
Show.
audience. We haven't put out a episode since...
Did you not put out the one of you and me?
No, because my audio was jacked for that.
God
We
damn
talked
it,
about
Robert.
this. I just
No, I don't remember us talking about this.
I just want to point out, though, I want to give you a compliment, Paul, that
Yeah.
we haven't put out an episode since the one just after Christmas, I guess, with
Okay.
Tyler, the Christmas episode. Oh no, the one just before Christmas, because the one just after was the
Right.
first one we would do with Frank, and that one was effed.
Yeah.
Snafu.
So, It's
Thanks,
been a
Tyler.
month. It's been a month since we've put out an episode,
is.
and
I'm just
through
yeah.
all of the problems, all of the technical
Uh-huh.
difficulties, none of
Yeah.
it was because of you.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's-
I know. It's
That's
crazy, huh?
insane. Dude, I think
I'm actually the one. I'm the
2023
one that spoke up to save the show too.
2023 is going to be the year the world ends. Thanks, Paul.
It has to be.
The Mayan calendar had it
no,
wrong.
I would think that too if I had any other positive things happen to me this year, but so far it's been mostly negative.
Well, but
Just
all right.
not-
So besides
not
your
technical.
car, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing this morning, back to work. It's Monday. Yay, let's go. Car breaks down.
So-
Like I don't even get all the way out of the
So
neighborhood.
what kind of snot
It's-
rocket are you driving now? I couldn't even tell by that
It's
picture.
so it's a '92 Toyota
Oh
Camry.
my gosh.
Leave me alone. And so
I mean, I'm not.
I was trying to figure out-
surprised.
Oh,
hell, it was $400,
yeah,
man. I'm
that's-
not complaining.
Hey, $400, and the only thing to go wrong since you bought it was the exhaust falls off the manifold. That ain't bad at all. You can still
Okay, to be
can
fair,
still drive it,
there's
right?
other things wrong. Yeah,
It's just-
so there's other things wrong.
It's just loud as hell.
No, I jerry rigged the
Oh my
pipe.
God.
Yeah,
Oh, gosh.
so it's fine now.
Robert, he's gonna
was
die,
like-
Robert.
Oh, well, I mean, we've been
It
saying this for years, but he still hasn't. So it's like a
He-
cockroach at a
Yeah.
nuclear fallout.
He's a rad roach without the
The-
rad.
Dude, the sound it was making was so just ear-splittingly loud that I thought I was going to go
That's-
deaf this morning. Like it was horrible.
That's why they call it a muffler. It
Um,
muffles the ultra loud noise of the engine.
Oh, dude, it was so fucking
Oh, yeah,
loud.
dude.
So, and I was like, and then the car was refusing to just go, and I was like, okay, something's wrong.
Yeah, it's your car.
Obviously. So like I pulled over and I tried to like turn it off, turn it back on. I'm like, okay, so that's not working. The tech support
It's not a computer
method isn't
Paul.
working.
It's not a computer.
Yeah,
Turning it
I
off
was
and on
like-
again
and
will fix it.
What made me laugh though is like when I sent the message, I was like, Robert's gonna pull out that tech support bullshit. It's like, is it plugged in? Did you try turning it on and off again? I was thinking that, but so I was like, okay, so obviously there's something more wrong, and then I like went to check it, and I didn't see the problem immediately, and I couldn't tell where it was coming from. The belt looked fine, everything else, there was nothing smoking that I could tell, and I was like, okay, I have no idea what's wrong with it.
Yeah, always.
So I
always a good sign
chugged
when
it back
doesn't
to the
Yeah.
to the house.
That can confirm
Yeah.
when your car starts and there's no
It,
smoke, it is good.
it hobbled its way back to the house, and
Was it?
I checked it when I got home, and I still couldn't see the problem. So I gave up, went back inside, took my work pants and shirt off, and got comfortable and sat on the couch and just contemplated life for about 3 hours.
Wow.
Before I moved it into the garage to like lift it up and see like if I could examine it further and try to figure out what was wrong with it. And then when I popped open the trunk and I was like, I don't see what's wrong.
The trunk.
And then I fucking turned the car on.
So you popped open the trunk. Well, that's mistake number one.
The trunk. The hood.
Engine,
Yeah,
the
you know
engine's
what I
not
mean.
in the trunk.
The
thing-
bonnet.
it's not a European car.
Oh, boy.
So I popped open the hood, and I did actually pop open the trunk by accident the first time. So technically, it's the correct. It was just accident because I was like, wait a minute, that's not the hood button. Fuck. And I didn't see it right away. And then I turned on the car and I shined a flashlight around and I was like, what the fuck's going on? And then it's just like a pipe just staring at me in the front of it. And I'm like, okay, that probably should be connected to something. Why is there just a pipe just hanging there? And I couldn't tell what was good. So it looked like part of it had like a little tensioner thing on it. And I was like, why the fuck is that? So I tried to loosen that, see what, like, if maybe the pipe was fucked up or something. And then I could, like, ran my finger around it. It had like jagged parts around it. And I'm like, okay, that doesn't seem right. So I got under the car and I looked at it, and I don't know if it just got so fucking hot and it just broke apart from old age or something. But like the metal where it broke off was so smooth that it almost looked like someone cut it off, but I can't imagine why they would do it at all. So that was fun. I managed to line it back up, and it kind of stayed a little. And then I used a piece of really, really thick hardwood to wedge it in there.
This is why I put in the Discord that you're slowly, day by day, becoming more redneck.
So the little piece of wood is wedged in between this screw that was hanging down and the pipe to keep the pipe stable, so it doesn't fall forward again. And hopefully that holds until I can figure out a more permanent solution.
You've got a piece of wood attached to your exhaust manifold. That's the hottest part of the engine. You've got something super flammable attached to the hottest part of the engine.
So
Paul,
it'll heat up, but unless there's a spark, it's not going to catch on fire.
No. It'll heat up to the point of setting itself on fire. Paul, that's a bad.
Let's hope not.
Wood combusts.
Yeah, it's.
I only use it to drive to work.
It's going to ignite.
It's only 7 miles.
7 miles.
Drive.
Yeah,
It gets hot pretty quick.
7 miles.
Paul, you're gonna be riding down the road in a great ball of fire.
Hopefully you're playing some Billy Joel on the radio when it happens.
No, he did start the fire.
I was trying to find a piece of metal to stick in there to wedge it, but I couldn't find anything. And
is it pipe and pipe? You could just line them up. You just need something to connect the pipe.
So like I said, the parts of it are jagged. Like if I got another steel pipe, like a smaller steel pipe, and then like tensioned it inside the exhaust and popped it up in there.
It's not like a big block at the end of the pipe. It's pipe and pipe, right? You can, if you got like a...
It's pipe onto straight, like flat, the manifold. Like it broke off at where it's supposed to meet.
The manifold, it blocks it off. There's no pipe that you could do
I'd have to get another pipe, like a smaller pipe, and try to jerry rig it or weld it back together.
That by the end
That's
of
what
this,
has to
Paul,
happen.
you're going to have more invested in this than you do the actual car.
Yeah.
So now we're keeping an eye out for another car.
Ditch the block of wood.
Yeah.
I'm going to ditch the block of wood. So what's probably going to happen for at least this week until I can find... I just needed something to hold the pipe so I can move the car out of the garage. But what's going to happen this week is I'm going to take Felicity to work and then go to work and then come home and then pick her up from work using her car.
That sounds much safer. Do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Considerably.
So, yay, fun morning. It's a super fun morning. And then I put on this large shirt that I got for Christmas, this large shirt, and I had washed it. And
no, it's not large
it looks like
anymore.
I'm wearing something from Baby Gap. Like, it's so tight on me. I feel like I'm being strangled. Like, I don't like it.
It's called getting
very
fat.
upset with it.
It's called getting fat.
I know. All my other large shirts fit. Leave me alone.
I mean, you know, shirts as you wear them stretch over time, right?
Well, this
Okay,
this
well,
one's the inverse.
that's the thing.
It shrunk on him.
It fit like at Christmas, and it fit fine, and it was like snug, like it was almost too big. And then we washed it, and now it's like it's strangling me. It's so tight.
Gotcha.
Like, I don't know what kind of cheap ass fabric it's made out of, but it's 1,000% cotton because it shrinks smaller than fucking, I don't know what. Shrinky dinks. It's a shrinky dink shirt. God damn it.
There it is.
No, that is not becoming the title of the episode.
He's
Shrinky dink shirt.
He's trying.
He really is. He really is.
I am. Robert, you're going to have fun listening back to my audio because I have 7 minutes of singing a song about you pooping on the toilet.
Oh my god!
Really? I might put
Yes.
that in the opening. I might do it.
I wish I would have started recording right away too. We had a little bit of gold. Oh, we were talking about Bob's Burgers. That's right.
Oh, I love.
Yeah, we were
Buzzwords.
talking. The most relatable cartoon on the
Yes,
planet.
So relatable.
The I almost forgot. We need to explain some things. People are like, "Who is this other person?" Like the one person that's going to listen to this.
Yeah.
This is the other person.
All right,
The
there's
one person
Robert,
who is
there's
not
Paul.
me.
There is who's the other guy that's not Tyler. No,
I'm
so
Paul.
This for the second time introducing you, but the first time no one's going to hear it. It's lost to the annals of time.
That's so sad.
Yeah, but like in a year, nobody's going to care. They're going to just accept his existence. Kind of like, I was trying to think of a TV show where they just introduced a character.
We could just record the whole thing without you ever introducing me, and then people can just play a guessing game with it. And then,
That's fair.
the one or two listeners that actually listen probably already know who it is anyway.
It's kind of like when that brother in Happy Days like showed up for one episode and then he never showed up again. People just accepted it.
Oh, you and Happy
Yeah.
Days, man. Nobody watches that. Dude,
I couldn't think of any other
I don't
show.
remember that.
You couldn't think of any other show than Happy Day? No other show? Golden Girls?
Where
no
like a
other
character
show.
shows up and then randomly goes away, or
Well, like
or
Fresh Prince,
randomly
when his
shows up
dad
out of
shows up.
nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh, and then dips
then
out.
Disappears
I
in the same
guess.
episode.
But they talked about his dad for so long.
Quite
What do you-
possibly the best ever episode of Fresh Prince.
That's accurate.
Well, because it's the best acted episode.
It truly was. I will give it that. That was an amazing episode.
It still
But,
shows up.
That broke me down emotionally every
It's not
time.
hard to do, Paul.
But yeah, so this
I
is
know.
Frank.
Dragon Ball makes me cry.
Hi, everybody. I'm Frank. I'm the
Hey, it's Frank.
guy that they always praise, and I don't think I deserve all of it, but I'll take what I can get.
Absolutely.
Sure. You are definitely the reason why we all know each other, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are the glue that holds this disorganized family
Please,
together.
dear God, no, don't call me that. If anything, I'm the gatekeeper. I just opened it up for you guys to meet each other. That's it. And then I taught you a few things along the way.
There you go. Paul constantly credits you for his customer service skills that he says
I
is
do.
top notch, but I don't know. He has yet to sell me anything.
Top notch tolerates customers. That's he went from being a sourpuss to okay, I can mildly tolerate these people.
He is not still a sourpuss?
I'm probably still very much a sourpuss, but now I've got that like switch where it's like you go from just being like, God, I hate the world, to when a customer shows up or
Hey, how
calls
are
to,
you doing?
hi, how are you doing today? Yeah, like,
Paul, it's called
It's-
fake it till you make it, brother. I'm telling you.
oh God, I've not made it, so I've had
So
to
you-
fake it to get
you're gonna
jobs.
keep on
Customer
faking
What are you
it.
talking about?
Customer service voice is very much the same real thing.
Yeah, it is.
It is. It's so. I do it at drive-throughs, like when I'm ordering food.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Like I'm so
Yeah.
miserable before I get there, and then I'm like, I don't want to disappoint the person I'm talking
Well,
to,
you know,
so I'm like,
their day is probably infinitely worse because they're working in a fast food restaurant. And not only that,
Exactly.
I don't want them spitting in my food or anything. So,
yeah, that either. Yeah,
but I do appreciate
that
the
would-
level of BS that they have to put through just to give me my burger. So I
Yeah.
try to make their day a little
Every
bit better.
fucking day. I feel so bad for them. I'm glad I didn't ever do fast food.
I did for about 8 months at Burger King when I was a young lad. That sucked. That was
That was
terrible.
that noise.
When I was a young warthog. Sorry.
Side note, what am I
Random.
hearing in the background, Paul? Are you playing something?
No.
It could be my background.
No.
No, it
sounds
was
very
me.
Paul.
I paused it. It was me.
Yeah. See, I know.
I
what's
was
up.
playing High on Life.
This guy. Oh,
Yeah.
actually,
I was waiting on you to get off the toilet.
We've been recording for a solid 16 minutes.
I know, but
Whoa.
then I got into a boss fight. I'm sorry.
Jesus.
I have no self-control.
If you only knew the shit that I have to go through.
Literal shit. Yeah.
Look,
I mean,
man,
that's
I
why he
got
started
that-
playing it.
I got that ADHD. I got the squirrel brain. I gotta be doing something. Like I get
Well, for the record,
Fidgety.
the things that you do are terrible as a podcast co-host.
Come on, Tyler, you're missing it.
ha 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 ha.
The
I am a wonderful podcast co-host. Thank you.
the fact that you mentioned High on Life is kind of interesting because I was scouring the internet for some news articles that we might could talk about and get a little insight on. And Rick and Morty's co-founder Justin Roiland, have you heard about him getting arrested?
Ooh, no. What happened?
Oh, what?
Well, he's
What'd he-
now
what'd he
he-
get
he's
arrested for?
facing felony domestic battery charges.
Oh.
So
Sucks.
yeah,
God, that's like when you and me talked. Oh, well, now we don't have that episode because you fucked up the audio.
Wow.
But we talked about Drake Bell from Drake and Josh,
That's right.
how he had felony child endangerment charges.
that's right. Yeah,
Like,
the
God, man. All
yeah.
these motherfuckers committing felonies and shit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I mean, but in this case, I mean, when was the last time Drake Bell did anything that was, that we even remotely knew anything about?
He's the voice of Spider-Man in the Spider-Man cartoons.
And when was that?
Not terribly long ago, I don't think.
It's long and done with. But this is Rick and Morty news. This is some current shit.
Oh, this is current
I
shit.
mean, if he goes to jail for, however long, felony domestic battery.
they probably won't go to jail. He'll probably bail, or do community service or something.
He's got enough pocket change now. He can get out of it.
I was about to say him and Mark Harmon.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, if it was like Murder One or something, then yeah, he'd
Or-
be up a creek with that power.
Or not Mark Harmon, Dan Harmon. Why did
Mark Harmon,
I think Frank said
NCIS.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was
Dan
my
Harmon.
bad. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
I think you said that
Yeah.
earlier and it messed me up. Now I'm thinking Mark Harmon. I'm like, Mark Harmon.
You're
no,
welcome,
it's
everybody.
Dan Harmon.
This is what I live for to mess with Paul on a daily basis.
Always.
Mark Harmon, though, he's all over the place, man. He's in like 48 CSIs.
Well, that's like people were getting kind of like shitty on Dan Harmon back with like Community and stuff, saying like calling him a pedophile and shit like that. Yeah.
I wonder if people would just
Just
say
be-
that as well, like without any type of
Oh yeah. No, nobody
So,
cares.
like the
They
like
just-
the lady at the airport checkout kiosk who was screaming at the lady who was running the kiosk, calling her a rapist because she wouldn't give her a ticket to fly out.
You rapist.
Like, do you understand the
random
words
accusations, yeah.
that you're using? Yeah, these accusations, man, they're crazy, crazy talk.
What was that movie quote? Princess Bride. You keep using that word, but I don't think you know what it means.
Fessick. Or no, that was Inigo Montoya that said that. Yeah.
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 Another great movie.
I love that movie.
Well,
timeless.
I could watch that movie forever.
Dude, the budget for that movie was so disgustingly low, and it becomes the most timeless movie ever. And
That usually
it
happens.
really?
though.
you can
It had,
watch
like-
it, and you would never know it was filmed in the early '80s. Like,
Well,
you would never guess it was that old a movie. The production value was amazing for the budget they had.
A lot of those movies had small
It's
budgets,
crazy.
though. Like you can kind of look at Willow and say Willow probably had a small budget, and that's not
Oh,
a
yeah.
pun because of all the small people
But-
in it. But
But you could
You-
tell that Willow was made in the '80s. You
that's
could
true.
visibly tell. So, but watching
Princess Bride feels like a '90s movie.
it feels way newer. And you could think that, you know, if it was a low budget, they probably filmed that last year. You know, it's believable. You know,
It had Billy Crystal in it. Of course, it was low budget.
damn.
yeah, that was the miracle. That was Miracle Max for sure. Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at this cast. It's kind of a stacked cast, though. I mean,
for like our standards,
Come
like
on.
nobody gives a shit about any of those actors anymore.
Andre the
Not
Giant.
a fucking one
Andre
of
the
them.
Giant was why we all watched that movie. Come on.
that's accurate.
Like name one of those
The
actors
least talented
that
actor
is still
of the
relevant
bunch,
today.
That was the one everybody wanted to see.
probably the most relevant
That's true.
actor now, I would think, would be Robin Wright. Maybe Mandy Patinkin.
No, pass. Hard pass.
You're not
No,
a
'cause
Robin
I think
Wright fan.
The only
I
thing
think Manny Patinkin.
well.
Well.
Oh, hey,
it's Tyler talking through paper towel roll.
What do you mean? It sounds bad?
There, it sounds much better.
Oh,
Oh,
shit. Okay.
okay.
It's okay.
Hey, guys.
Let me notate this. That way I can edit it.
All right.
I wanted to jump
Tyler.
in and just surprise you guys because I saw you call me out, Frank. So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
shit, I got to get on.
Make sure you're recording now. Come on.
I
Yeah, make sure-
have
make sure-
tested. I can see the little green audio bar moving. I'm recording for 1 minute. Okay.
But is
Do
it
you see
is
the
it like
blue
is your
waves?
microphone set to your thing?
What?
Well,
Paul?
he's not using Audacity, so
Is your,
Oh, he's not.
oh, you're not using all that. Okay. Yeah.
he's
I just want to make sure that because last time you recorded, but it was what Robert said, it was blank or
Yeah,
some
that was
shit.
really cringe. I used a different headset and didn't bother testing if it would record. So
yeah. I have no idea how it happened either. You sent me like an hour and a half long, just blank track.
that
Just a
rocks,
file
though,
of
dude.
nothing.
That should be the
Yeah.
episode. That rocks.
Just a
Make
whole
people-
blank
yeah,
episode.
Make people listen to the whole thing. What is it?
I told
Is there
I
some
told
surprise?
you, Robert, as punishment.
It would be our most
Punishment
highly
should
rated
be
episode.
he should
It
re-record
would.
everything.
Everybody would listen for the magic moment, and it would never arrive. Oh man, that would be the ultimate troll.
They would probably
Oh,
just
man.
skip ahead, wouldn't they? They would just like skip through all the parts and then click the end and hear silence. And they'd be like, okay, well, downvote.
Maybe. I don't know. There's some of our loyal listeners out there that would actually scour the entire track.
If we,
Probably the one loyal
Yeah.
listener.
yeah,
Or
if
they
we
just
if we
hit
have if we have any sort of loyal listeners, they should probably be institutionalized.
I
Don't
actually
say
know
that.
of one person that listens to all our episodes. I didn't know they listened to all the episodes. They told me, it's like, hey, I really like that Christmas episode, by the way. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking? Oh, the
Wait,
podcast.
what?
Really?
You haven't told me about this. What is this?
Kudos.
Yeah, I one of my friends, she watches or she listens to the show.
Well, she is awesome,
like-
whoever she is.
Hello,
Consistently.
fake Paul friend.
Doxer, doxer, doxer. Paul, what's her favorite credit card number?
I don't know. Probably Bank of America. I don't know.
Oh
What
God.
do you mean credit card? Paul doesn't have any credit cards, man. Come on.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, I don't have any credit, so that's the problem.
Paul,
I mean,
closest
I'm
thing he's
sure-
got is like an expired CVS coupon.
I don't even, I should do couponing, but I
Yeah,
don't.
was about to say, that's not Paul either.
No.
Yeah, I don't have the time for that. Patience.
Patience, really.
You know.
That's the most things.
Yes. Patience is the word.
Really. Yeah.
So what did I miss? What did you guys talk about?
Yeah.
Anything interesting?
You. We talked
That's
about
not
you
true.
the entire
That's
time.
not true.
We were talking about Princess
We
Bride.
were talking about the cast of Princess Bride and who
and
is the most relevant at this
I
time.
was
None of
just
them.
chiming in that Mandy Patinkin's probably, in my opinion, the most notable actor.
I'm gonna have to Google the movie and all the cast. So hold on,
So
give me a minute.
do you remember
What's-
who Inigo Montoya in the movie was?
The guy that looked like Zorro.
Yes.
Okay,
That's,
Yes.
that's Mandy Patinkin.
Yes.
What's this
And
movie
he
called?
went-
Oh, Princess Bride.
Princess Bride.
Princess Bride. What the fuck are you talking
And I
about?
think
This
he was
movie
in what's the name of that show? The Criminal Minds.
Criminal
Oh
Minds.
yeah.
He was in like the
He was
first
in-
few seasons of that, and it was pretty good despite the reductive, terrible writing of the show.
Well, it's like Carrie Elwes fell out like big time.
Yeah.
And then he comes back for TV shows every now and again. Like he was in
Psych,
Psych as a French bank robber or some shit, or art thief or some shit like
he was
that.
an art thief.
Billy Crystal doesn't do anything anymore. I think Robin Wright was in Wonder Woman
Yeah.
and Justice League.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay,
She was also
that's
in
cool
that,
for her.
what was that?
Wallace
House of
Shawn pretty much
Cards.
just does voiceover work.
Yeah. She was the
Yeah,
Oh,
Wallace
yeah,
Shawn
yeah.
has a
wife
really
and-
weird voice, so he like has to be in that kind of stuff.
He does voice.
true.
Fred Savage, I think, is still a missionary for Christianity or something. So I don't know
Is
what
that
he's
true?
doing. Probably.
He's getting allegations thrown against him. That's the last thing I heard.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
I know Chris Sarandon doesn't do much anymore. Like not anything huge.
One
anyway.
of my favorite
Like,
things about Paul is he'll say things that he has 10% confidence in, but he says it without like it's 100%.
Unabashed, right? Yeah, he's like,
Oh, yeah.
I know this.
I'm just making that up about Fred
Like,
Savage. All I remember was he was super
The-
Christian. I don't
the
know
whole
what he
time
does.
you hear clicking in the background. Wait, I gotta Google this shit real quick. Hang on.
That's accurate. Thankfully, there's gates for that to knock that out. The
Woo.
pitter patter of Paul's fingers on
What did I see?
keyboards.
Who was the wife? Billy Crystal's wife.
Oh yeah,
in that
she
movie.
was good too. What was her name? God.
Because she's in Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt as
Yeah.
the landlady, and I think she was Penguin's mom in Gotham.
What was her name? Oh my gosh.
Carol something.
Hmm.
Because she's also in the Sisters Brothers for like 5 seconds at the end of the movie.
Oh, my absolute favorite character of hers was the Ghost of Christmas Present in Scrooged.
Carol Kane. That's her name.
Carol Kane. That's it.
Mhm.
That was my
I love-
all-time favorite.
I love Carol
role
Kane.
that she reprised. That was hilarious.
Oh
and if
man,
you haven't seen it, you gotta see it.
which one?
That's Scrooged.
Oh yeah, with Bill Murray. Yeah,
So,
I like that one.
oh wow, okay. The misconduct allegations on Fred Savage. You're kind of right, Paul.
Yeah.
Oh,
Kind of right. So, in 1993, when he was 16,
Uh-huh.
him and a co-star were accused of sexual harassment by a show's former costume designer.
Okay.
They
It's resurfaced in recent years too. That's why he has trouble getting work, apparently.
well, there was that in
I
2018.
think his terrible acting has something to do with that.
Damn.
Mole.
In
And his brother's not
2018,
much
a
better.
costume designer on the Grinder
Yeah,
accused
that's
Savage of assault and intimidation and filed a complaint in Los Angeles Superior Court, making
Wow.
allegations. And then in 2022, he was fired as executive producer and director of the Wonder Years reboot after an investigation into
Oh,
the
God, I forgot
alleged
they're rebooting
inappropriate
Wonder Years.
conduct. After investigating.
Yeah. So yeah, I knew I heard something about him.
Yep. Look at you in that steel trap of a memory.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. All I
Useless
knew was
trivia,
he was
man.
super like Christian, and Family Guy makes fun of it a lot. That's the only thing I really remember about Prince.
He remembers what Family Guy teaches him.
Yeah, typically.
Hey, man, Family Guy teaches a lot. If you look
know what's-
deep down in
I
it,
can't.
and
I
if you
can't
can get
watch it
by
anymore.
the
I
redundant,
found out
and
a
repeated
kind of neat
jokes.
fact about Seth MacFarlane recently. Speaking of Family Guy,
Besides the fact that he almost died in the September 11th attacks.
yeah. Other than that,
Okay.
Water under the bridge, Rob.
Yeah,
Water
no,
under
fuck
the
that.
bridge.
Whatever. Nobody gives a shit about that. No,
Doesn't
he
matter.
when he was making Ted, when he was working on Ted, the first one, He contacted Neil deGrasse Tyson
Oh yeah.
about getting an accurate sky
Yeah.
for like the 80s, like for that part of the world, so that the night sky was scientifically accurate for his for that one scene in his movie where the kid wishes on a star. And I think that's fucking insane that he cares that much about like that level of detail and stuff like that. But
and yet, Family Guy.
yeah, Family Guy. But I mean, the Orville's really good if you watch the Orville.
Oh, dude, I do enjoy the Orville. I'm not gonna
I like
lie.
it.
That's what Star Trek has to be. If it's not funny, I don't want to watch it. 'Cause
It's really
it's
good.
all boring politics if there's no comedy to it. So I
And
thoroughly
that's
enjoyed it.
that's the newer
especially
Star
the-
Treks. They're all like political and shit.
Oh yeah, it's too boring for me. But the whole Dolly Parton homage that was priceless. I freaking loved it, man. That was so good.
Seth MacFarlane, man, I don't know why it took him so long to break into like live action stuff, because he's really funny, and when he takes his own universes serious, like in the Orville, and then just applies a little bit of comedy to it, it comes out so well.
Well, it's real life, you know. Like some of the comedy seemed a little over the top, but for the most part, that's every day for us. You know that.
Yeah, the commentary alone, like on tackling like modern issues with
Oh,
like a
yeah.
future backdrop, I was like, oh, that's very Star Trek of you. I like it.
Yeah, but better.
Yeah, but better.
don't know if I've
better,
ever
better than
watched
the
any of
newer
the
Star
Orville.
Trek, at least.
Oh my god.
Have any? Well, I know you have. Have any of you watched The Last of Us?
I
Yes,
watched the first episode.
I did watch the first episode with Felicia just the other day, and it was really good.
I've heard good things.
It's
They,
like I mean, shot
beat
for
for
shot
beat.
video game.
It is.
Really?
They've added some extra stuff, but it is
Yeah.
beat for beat the game. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Nice.
is. It's impressive, like the detail they got. And the thing that gets me though is like they cut out one of the story writers completely. Like
Who?
no royalties or anything. I couldn't tell you, dude.
Oh
I
damn!
don't remember the
Oh,
names
I
of
did
them.
hear. I did hear about that.
It
I
wasn't
don't
the
remember the name.
headliner writer. It was his cohort. I can't think of the guy's name. Either one of them, really.
Huh.
But
I did appreciate that, like, some of the dialogue, even from the game, made it into the show. Like the hardcore drugs dialogue made it into the
Mhm.
show, and I was like, oh, hey, it's in the game.
yeah, there was a whole lot to it. I was
Oh,
really
yeah.
impressed by it. You know,
The-
the like just from the open, it starts kind of slow, but then again, it's
Oh,
it's
God,
setting
yeah.
the stage for the opening scene from the game, and that was awesome.
It was really good.
So my topic question tonight is going to be: how hard do you beat your significant other when they drop a bottle of sparkling cider?
The answer is
like an 80s sitcom, 8 is enough.
8 hits or 8 out of 10?
Yeah,
on
8
the-
hits.
Oh, gotcha.
So, do we have to think of sitcoms to answer his question? now?
Yeah, from now on.
Oh
it's
shit.
What was the one with
don't-
oh fuck,
Damn.
After you're done
Right
beating
to the
her,
moon,
you'll have to do
Alice.
some home improvement.
Ted Bundy? Who's the guy? Peg Bundy?
Oh, Married with
Yeah,
Children?
that one, dude.
Oh, Al Bundy.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Al Bundy.
Yeah,
I
Shoe
like
salesman.
that show. That was a good show.
I love that show.
Probably the most blatant one is we talked about this before. Paul and I did the right to the moon, Alice. One of these days.
Oh, yeah. Where you space travel.
He was talking about
as a
hitting her?
Yes.
as an allegory for
He even
punching
does
his
like
wife.
the whole
yeah.
like motion of doing an uppercut.
That's
Yeah.
funny as fuck, dude.
Yeah, that shows you the old days right there.
That's one of my favorite jokes from Futurama. It's like in the second fucking episode where they're on the moon and they use that one of these days, Alice, straight to the moon. And then it's like, he's not an astronaut. He used space travel as an allegory for beating his wife. It's like, that's funny.
So
Definitely.
I
Short
have
term
to ask
spousal
you
abuse.
something, Frank, that came up today that I knew you would be the best person to ask, and hopefully everyone else can gain a little knowledge as well.
I'm already upset that I wasn't the best
Fantastic.
person to ask, but okay, go ahead.
Well,
Very upset.
Frank,
It's okay, Tyler. Your question will come.
that's
sir.
true. Frank actually has a degree in like literature.
English.
Oh.
English literature, or English rather, and it has
But
to
you
deal.
speak English.
I hate lit with a passion.
Well, it has to deal with words in the English language and why some of them are absolutely dumb. But specifically,
Woke.
why, right? Why is light, Light, not the same as Lite, but when you type Lite, it's almost always marked as incorrect. Even though you're not talking about light as in like the radiant thing from a light bulb, but you're talking about something
Because
being light.
The word Lite is more of an urban dictionary kind of word. It was adopted with software, and that's when it really became big. Was probably like mid to late 90s.
I was about to say, didn't they use it in like for beer and shit like that? Like they started using that spelling.
Yeah.
But
it didn't really take off in mainstream conversation until
I never
had these software.
never use it.
Yeah, I didn't really care for it either, but I didn't really start to see it more until you see all these software things. That's probably because I was a big computer geek too. So whenever you're talking about, oh, it's the light version, and then that's when people use it. But I don't think it ever became globally accepted. So you're gonna see it come up as, oh, this is incorrect usage of the word. It's not a word.
I honestly forgot that version of light existed until you said something, Robert.
What,
Right.
Lite?
Yeah, I forgot that's even a thing.
Yeah, I feel like I
'Cause I
never
never
ever
used
see
it.
Middle
that.
time.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't drink beer, so I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
where are
even
you
see
seeing it in the real world, Robert? Where are you seeing this?
Yeah.
It was describing something being light or being like not heavy.
Yeah. So they were just misusing the word entirely.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what it
see,
sounds like.
but that's an interesting thing about English is that Light can refer to something not being heavy, but also like the light from a lamp or the sun or something. Like that's a weird. English is
Yeah.
stupid.
English
Yeah.
is stupid.
It's
Well, you
I
know,
did a quick search for the etymology, and it says it looks like it goes back to 1962, but
that makes sense.
but used from at
Fuck
least
you, 1962.
1917 as a word forming element in product names. So I'm guessing
Yeah.
it was, like the ultimates
It was a
and
gimmick.
supers
it was,
and stuff.
It was like
It's like the wedding
an
rings.
element in naming product is what they're basically saying.
Yeah,
So this is like a gimmick word. That's all it is.
I gotcha.
Like booyah or
What's that?
Shazam.
what's that? Yeah, we're doing that over there. So,
Dude, I can't remember what it was, but I had my Korean buddy reached out and he was like, "Can I ask you an English question?" And I was like, "Yeah, what's up?" And he asked me 2 sentences and he was like, "Which one of these is more formal?" And I was like,
Oh.
"Oh, this one, hands down." And he was like, "Why?"
Nope.
And I was like,
Because it uses big words.
And no, it was like
Those are-
it was like virtually the same sentence, but it was just, and they were both grammatically correct. It's just nobody would say it the other. I fucking can't remember the sentence, but I was like, yeah, I was like, you
So-
would just never ever say this.
It was probably because one of the sentences was ending in a preposition and the other one wasn't. That's a common thing that people don't get, except when you're from overseas.
Mm.
Like if English is your second language, then you know never to end a sentence with a proposition, but it just sounds so wrong to us.
That actually explains a
So
lot.
it's hard to fight that, and that's probably what it was.
Now,
So, yeah,
now,
I'd be
Frank, I'm not
interested to
saying
know.
anybody in the podcast doesn't know what a preposition is, but for just in case we have a listener maybe that doesn't know what a preposition is, what is that?
Oh God! So
Yay!
now that I'm on the spot, I have to think of an example. So like, you want to end it with the prepositions like of or with, that kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
So, when you're talking about that, you kind of have to change the order in which you put the words. And I'm sorry, I can't think of an example. It'll probably come to me on the next episode, or I'll have to write it.
You could,
down
you could probably
next time
say
I come
something
to
like,
it.
"Oh, she had a child with," like,
No,
I was
it's-
trying to think of like if there was a Schoolhouse Rock episode that explained this. Like I'm trying to remember if there's like because I remember conjunction junction, But
Yeah, no, they never got to preposition. They
Did they
lost
not?
the ratings.
I remember he asked me one time.
'Cause
He
it-
asked me, he was like, "Is it wrong?"
When they started talking about a bill, that's when they lost. it.
Yeah.
My buddy asked
The
me one
bill
time,
on
like,
Capitol Hill.
is it wrong to ask, or is it wrong to say, the red big truck? And I was like, it's not wrong, but
Right.
you would never ever say that ever for any reason. And he was like, you would say the big red truck. I'm like, yeah, always. Nobody would ever say the red big truck. And he's like, why? I'm like, dude, I don't. Because English is stupid. I don't know, dude. It's just nobody would ever say that.
That reminds me
All
of
I
a
remember
Bill
about-
Burr skit or a little joke where he talks about how
Talking about the Asian motherfucker.
yeah.
That's a good bit. That's a really good bit.
It's a really good bit, and he is talking about how does he set it up? How is it black people cuss better or get away with it better than white people?
Yeah, even though
'Cause-
they're saying the same thing. Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
the only thing I
man.
remember about prepositions was like it had to be used prior to like a noun, like in relation to it in some way. That's the only thing that's coming up in my brain. But
So the definition
That's pretty close to the formal structure of the sentence.
yeah,
The definition that I
Default.
have up here for preposition is a word governing that usually preceding a noun or pronoun and expressing a relation to another word or element in the clause.
I just fell asleep.
So yeah. So
Yeah.
some examples are
So okay, I got one. So the sentence or question, "Who are you with?"
Mhm.
is informal. It's "you are with whom," or
yeah.
you kind of have to lead with the preposition and then end with the noun. And I could probably think of a way better one, but that's a quick example.
Gotcha. Yeah. I did too. That was the worst.
That's
of
the
it.
part that I couldn't stand. I was all about composition. I wanted to teach people how to write stories and
Yeah.
get passionate about.
That's why
telling
you taught
stories.
Paul how to read.
yeah.
No. I taught Paul how to read because I
He's
couldn't
such a
take it
good
anymore
person.
when he was getting my reports wrong.
Yeah,
Dude,
true.
So,
And now I write books. It's
the
crazy.
good old game planner. Y'all remember
Yes. God.
that? Oh my god.
That let me
I
tell
didn't
you
get them that wrong.
that thing and being brought on and promoted to SGA still to this very day impacts my life, and I want to tell you how. I don't know if you remember this conversation, and I didn't talk about it in the last episode, so I'm happy we're successful in recording this one so far, and I just jinxed it.
Woo!
Great.
Yeah, good job, Rob. Good job.
Yeah, knock on
Before working at GameStop, I was left-handed. I wrote everything left-handed. I had shitty handwriting. It was bad. And I filled out the game planner once, and you said, "You've got to work on your handwriting, dude. Like, it's just terrible. It's bad."
I've
I
got
don't
pretty
even remember that.
handwriting.
So I went home. I swear to God, went home, got a piece of notebook paper, and just writing the numbers and the alphabet with my right hand, and it was better.
Wow.
I
So-
went like 28 years writing left-handed.
Yo,
That's crazy.
ambidextrous.
It's usually the other way around too. That's the crazy part because our elders felt like being left-handed was some taboo or whatever.
Right.
It was a sin.
So people would force them to write right-handed instead, and then they would discover, oh my gosh, I can write better left-handed. What the hell?
Lefties are the devil's minions.
Oh, shut up.
That's
And
that
I
was
still
that's an
do
accurate
things.
thing from the Catholic Church.
Shut up, Paul. I'm Catholic too, and I'm left-handed. So do you.
I'm so sorry for your soul.
You're just
I'm not. I'm
stupid.
going to hell anyway. We've already established.
Yeah,
You're just-
I was about to say Catholicism is the easiest way to go to hell. Like it's
it's the
so
easiest
easy.
way to avoid hell with purgatory.
That's true.
Yeah, well,
But you
there's
just
that.
got to get people to pray you out of it, right? Is that how you get out of purgatory?
No, you kind of do your time.
Oh.
And it's like
It's like
you go-
afterlife jail.
Yeah, but then you either can try to like make it do community service kind of a thing.
Oh,
Always, It's afterlife jail.
Afterlife jail is hell. This is more like community service.
No, hell is afterlife.
Like the halfway
prison.
That's what I was thinking,
Like,
Paul. I was thinking afterlife prison is hell, and then afterlife jail.
Jail.
Yeah.
Like if you're just in jail, like in
Like
the drunk
sometimes
tank,
the guards
that's-
are like,
that's
"Hey man,
purgatory.
we're gonna get
Hey, that's
Popeyes.
the-
Do you want some Popeye?" And in afterlife jail, you're like, "Oh,
It's Canadian
thanks, man."
jail. They just let you
It's-
out
it's
as long as
the-
long as you're back by dinner.
Jail's the first circle of hell in Dante's Inferno. It's the lesser of the hells.
What was
So-
there was other things in that though, like we're on the first layer. It was like, oh, they weren't Christian, but they got to go to purgatory. You know, that kind of like the heroes.
They got
of
to or
the
had
lore.
to.
Very similar, yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
they were
Dante's
privileged,
Inferno was
Tyler. They were privileged.
Yeah, they couldn't go to heaven because they weren't Christian, but they're not going straight to hell.
Yeah, they were still privileged unchristians.
They were good people.
Hell detour.
That's-
kind of deal.
Yeah, Dante's Inferno is a weird fucking.
Hell, hey, no, Rob, it's Hell Light.
You know what? The title of the episode
There's
was
your
going to be
title.
Afterlife Jail, but
Purgatory
now
is
it's going to be
Hell
Hell
Light. That's
Light.
great. Oh, we got to draw like a fucking Budweiser frog saying that now.
You are
Oh.
absolutely welcome to do it. I will make it the
Um,
episode's cover.
yeah.
That's great.
It's gonna be a
Oh my
t-shirt.
god! So what's everybody been up to since we haven't talked in a month from what do people think?
I'm still mad at your friend, Robert.
Mad at my friend?
Yes.
What friend?
Because now it's not even recorded. The conversation we had about how he's a bigger Star Wars person than me.
Oh,
What does that
I
mean?
take
right.
that as a challenge,
Oh.
and I'm very upset about it. And I've been upset about it for 3 weeks.
I don't know. I'm a pretty big Star Wars fan, so
when I tell you, this guy, my coworker, he can tell you anything and everything about anything that you could ever want. He's read all of the books.
Yeah.
That's my anime rival right now. Like,
Dude, one of my close friends
Vegeta
is
and
like
Goku.
that. Like I started watching The Mandalorian and I was like, what's up with this little bars? And he's like, so that's their currency. And he like just went on. I was like,
Yes.
oh damn, he knows like
Yes.
fucking everything.
Yes, credits.
He's like, it first showed up in this episode of the Dark
He was like,
Sith
it used,
and the blah, blah, blah,
it used
blah,
to be a metal from their planet that's no longer there, and they used to use it to
Yeah.
make art. And you're like, whoa, hold on, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's a whole new level of nerddom that I did not know existed.
So
I don't know how
he's
you
not-
didn't know it existed being my friend. I talk about this
So
shit
he's-
all the time.
Eh, half
Paul's
the stuff you
so-
say, I
Paul's
think
so
you made
He's
hard.
not
up.
a Star Wars geek. He's a nerd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing.
yeah.
So,
But it's
well, that's
only
still
in
cool,
that.
though.
If you ask him about any details about anything else, it's kind of like,
Yeah, he's a Star Wars nerd.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Same.
It's like you obsess over the silliest minutia of the stuff,
Yes, I do.
as opposed to appreciate it and like.
Oh, I
literally
appreciate
geek out
it,
over it.
but I also obsess over it.
Yeah. Well, nerds do that too. But
Yeah.
geeks just simply appreciate it and remember mainstream and some interesting tidbits of information.
I would
beyond
say
the
I'm probably
mainstream.
one of the few Star Wars like nerds that are like well read on Star Wars history and everything like that actually enjoyed Last Jedi. Like Last Jedi is one of my favorite Star Wars movies.
What
well,
the fuck is
I
wrong with you?
I don't get. Hey, listen, I don't get what all the negativity was on those movies.
I don't either.
I
thoroughly
liked it.
enjoyed them.
I like the Last Jedi. Well, because a lot of stuff in the Last Jedi I felt was very. It was cinematically beautiful in a lot of ways that like the other ones weren't. But that's technology, I guess. And then it kind of followed up on stories from the previous movies. I'm like, and people were like, "Oh, he would never do that." I'm like, "Yes, he would. He did it in the last fucking movie you saw him in. Jesus Christ!" And it is like, it's almost like it had this message of how people kind of deify Luke Skywalker, and they were for years, especially in the books and shit, where all the authors were like, "Oh, it's fucking space Jesus."
Yeah,
And I'm like, He's just a guy. He lived in a fucking dirt hole for 16 fucking years before an old man took him into space.
that's
Like
accurate.
he's just a dude. Like he's not Jesus. He's not the second, third, whatever coming of their savior. You know, he's just a guy. He makes mistakes. That happens. And it
Yeah,
was
and he
neat
wasn't
to see
even-
the human side of him.
He wasn't even the one that was prophesized over either. So
Yeah.
that's what makes it even funnier.
But you can kind of see, you can kind of see that metaphor in the movie too. How like everybody else in the movies also deify Luke. It's like, oh, Luke, like constantly through the first one. And then when they finally get to him at the end, he's like, "Oh, fuck you," and throws the lightsaber over his shoulder. He's like, and everybody's like, "Who wouldn't be a hermit?" I'm like, literally, both people that trained him were hermits. It's the only thing he knows.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, but there's a reason they were hermits too. So
he had a reason
kind of
to-
along the same line.
Yeah,
And
So-
that's what people forget. And they're like,
And
my God, he's so aloof and eccentric. And it's like, wouldn't you be if you were
if
living
every single
on some
student
tiny ass
you had
island with
killed-
some porgs? I would
fucking
I would
porgs.
fucking go nuts too. The damn porgs, man. I'd be punting them bitches off the coastline every day.
They
oh
scream
my
so
God.
loud.
Would
They were
he
terrible.
would he be almost like the quintessential like homeschool kid? Like just the one with
Luke?
absolutely no social game.
He has
just-
no
No.
social skills.
No,
Zero
he
social skills.
He had friends.
He had one friend does not account to plural.
Yeah, Paul would know.
One
Oh.
friend with a mustache in a deleted
no,
scene
no.
does not count as friends.
No, he had more than one friend. You just never got to see him because George Lucas felt it wasn't pivotal to the story.
Oh yeah, there were 3 total people there with him at the bar.
Yeah, he had
Yeah.
like a straight up gang, man.
I love he
In
had
fact,
a floppy
the
hat.
Mandalorian kind of touched on that too. That was pretty cool. He was part of a had gang
Biggs.
of 16-year-old badasses. who
the
were
rebel pilot
badass in their own
Biggs.
minds,
That was his name. He had a cape and he had a mustache and he was like,
Yeah,
"Luke,
it
you should
was-
come join the rebels." And he was
was
like,
terrible.
I don't want to do that shit." And
Some of those outtakes were just embarrassing.
yeah,
For some reason,
I
I
love good
kind of want to set up
films.
some way to find out which one of you is the bigger Star Wars nerd.
Paul, take it. I'll admit.
a quiz, dude. Let's do a game show.
A game show? No.
Yeah.
No.
Tyler, I found out
I
something
would
interesting about
concede.
Naruto, by the way.
Bro, what's up? Run it.
Huh?
That I could beat him in the game and he would get pissed off.
Oh, yeah, probably.
What, Paul?
Oh, yeah, no, because I remembered you used to be like super into Naruto.
I do think it's pretty good to a certain point.
Yeah. To a certain,
Yes.
well, you got really pissy with me when I called out Obito being the villain, and you were like, "No, he's dead," and I was like, "No, he's gonna be."
Dude, ever since
he's
I
the
learned
villain.
that the original creator, the end of the show was Sasuke getting Itachi, that was the end. And then they were like,
Yeah.
"Hey, this is like $1 billion franchise. You're not done." And he was like, "Oh, I'll churn some, I'll churn some horse shit out, I guess." And I was like, "Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense." But what? What's
Well, I
up?
found out that the voice actor for Sasuke, he's Spider-Man in the new Spider-Man games and a lot of cartoons and shit. And I was like, because I was playing Midnight Suns and Spider-Man's in that, and I was like,
Hold
man,
on.
that
Did you
Spider-Man
did you
sounds
watch
fucking
Naruto
familiar.
in English?
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
right?
what's
I was just
wrong
about to
with
say the
you?
same thing.
I can't.
Are you
I
ill?
can't read.
God.
I can't watch the
I
show
know you
and
can't
read the
read,
subtitles.
but you could have like a
I just thought it
translation
was
tool.
interesting
Oh,
that I
my.
recognized the voice because of Naruto and you,
Okay.
and I made that
So-
mental connection.
I mean, that is cool.
Let's address the big ugly elephant in the room.
Okay.
Watching anime in English is watching cartoons.
Yeah.
Watching it in Japanese is anime.
The with the one
Because-
exception being Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon
of course.
Ball?
Come on.
Yeah.
Well,
That's the one.
no,
Only if
Well,
it's,
no,
it's
if
the
you've seen the
uncensored
Gundam
English
franchise. The Gundam franchise is actually pretty good in English too.
So there's a
dub.
couple.
but-
The uncensored dub of Dragon Ball Z is better than the censored malarkey that because they
True.
like cuss nonstop
true.
in Dragon Ball Z. So that's,
remember when fucking
yeah.
Vegeta had the Dragon Ball and he just gave like Krillin the middle finger? And I was like, wait, what? Hold on. He's just like, fuck off, it's mine.
Vegeta gives
hey,
no
Tyler.
fucks.
Tyler, I still reference Onigi on the reg.
Oh, the fucking Dragon's Ball
Oh my
P.
god,
Virginia!
Virginia slipped the Mickey.
Still chasing around little boys in spandex, I see. Yes.
Crappy potty.
That is a really good impression. By the way, that was-
Dude, I was playing
just-
playing fucking Risk of Rain with my buddy, the second one, and I was like full on deity, and he kept dying, and he was like, "Hold on, like I can respawn soon," and I was like, "Hurry, Kakarot! I don't know how much longer I can hold them." He was like fucking dying.
that's scarily accurate. 'Cause I just beat Kakarot. Like I just beat the game
Yeah.
today. So I've been hearing that fucking Vegeta voice just non-goddamn stop.
It's a great voice, man.
And it's fucking amazing. But that's pretty
I
close.
have a topic.
scary.
I know we probably have other topics, but I have one that I think is interesting.
Okay, go for it.
What is, I know it's on the spot and you could probably like think about this for a while, but what is something from a video game that you're like, this is one of the best things ever? So an example would be like a fight scene or a soundtrack or
Soundtrack from Final Fantasy VI.
and you think
Ooh.
that like even it's so good that it's like, I don't give a fuck if you don't even play video games. You should listen to this
So-
and how good it is.
Nobuo Uematsu
Bless you.
inspired me with that soundtrack. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
So
game
can it be
soundtrack.
like a mechanic or
Yeah, well, anything.
Yeah,
Like
Anything that
anything
you
at all?
think is so fucking good from a game that it like fucking transcends video games and it's
Oh.
like god tier.
Oh,
And yes, of course I have an example, but I'm gonna let you guys go first.
Max Payne's Bullet Time?
ooh.
Oh
That's a
yeah, that was
good one.
revolutionary, man.
No other
that
game's
was
really
epic.
done that either. So that's
Yep.
a good one.
That was an epic one.
Holy shit.
What you got, Bob?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let Robert go. I'm thinking.
Yeah, definitely think about it. I can go if you guys need some time.
I
Go for it.
Mine is the original, the OG soundtrack for Spyro 1, 2, and 3. Because the person that made it is Stuart Copeland, the drummer of the Police. He wrote
Oh.
and comprised the entire soundtrack for all 3 games by himself.
did not know that.
And that's why when you listen to it, knowing that it was made by a drummer now, you'll hear the percussion is insane. The cymbals and the drums, it's fucking incredible, man. It's so good. And I listen to it at work, in the car. It's fucking incredible, man. And I'm like, the fact that this is a video game soundtrack, there's like little clips of him on YouTube in the studio by himself, just like making the soundtrack. I'm like, that's so cool.
Yeah. Funny enough, I saw a video on that, and then I immediately after saw a video about The Legend of Zelda Gerudo Valley being like one of the best tracks of all times because it hit so hard.
Yeah,
And it's because the guy that wrote it was a percussionist.
dude.
And
Yeah.
that was pretty sick. Yeah.
Percussionists are, I don't know, man. There's something about them. They're
Well, they got the beat.
They got the beats. They got the beats.
They got the beats.
So,
Oh,
yeah. If anybody has rhythm, it's a percussionist, and that's the heartbeat of music. No pun intended. Is rhythm.
So
Yeah.
are you asking like what is something that just transcends the video game and is something that somebody should just experience?
It's
or
like so.
To
It's kind of
you.
like something.
To you.
Something that
What's the biggest thing to you?
like it is with you today. Like, not like you play a video game and you're like, oh, that's pretty good. I like that, and then you put it down, and then you think about it a year later. Like something that is still with you that you still maybe it's your phone background now because it's stuck with you, or you tell people about it. Like, yeah,
you know,
Can I have more than one?
no.
Well, you gotta let Rob go first.
Paul's like, I have 11.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, we're gamers. There's more than one.
There's definitely more than one, but there's two things. You mentioned the phone background, and that kind of popped in my head. But
I
Yeah, Paul's got some waifu shit on his phone. Yes, I do.
I want to say, and it's only because I wish I could experience this for the first time again.
Ooh, okay. I like this already.
The atmosphere and the music backing Mass Effect.
Okay.
which
Okay.
Mass Effect?
Probably
Absolutely.
the first one.
Yeah, the first one. I mean, the second one is great too. It extends it, but specifically the first one because it was the first one I played. But like just that was one game that I truly was just submerged in, and not necessarily because of the gameplay, but because of the personalities and because of the relationships that are developed in that game among the different characters and whatnot.
BioWare's trademark.
That I really do.
I figured out how to describe what I'm talking about. It's like it's so good that it's like bullshit good, that you're like, okay, it's unbelievably good, and like people need to know about this. That's that kind of thing. Yeah.
So,
Or nobody understands how good this is. Yeah. Unless they've like, yeah.
Like, I legit go back and listen to the Mass Effect soundtrack, just the music, just that very like tense and almost electronic
it's almost
type.
like Halo.
Yeah.
Like Halo's music. Like the first time you ever loaded up Halo.
Yeah.
And it's like that drum, like, and then it goes into the operatic fucking.
Is
Specifically
Halo
Halo 3?
Is Halo the fucking dun 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 dun?
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
That's Halo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, gotcha.
that's part of it. Yeah.
What's your second one, Paul?
Oh no, that wasn't even my first one.
I was like,
just-
wait, what
I
was Paul's
related
first one?
I related what he said about Mass Effect to Halo.
Yeah.
Because I mean, as just gamers in general, there's like Frank was saying, there's 100,000 things we could fucking name off, different mechanics, soundtrack, shit that stayed with us for a long time. But something that I think about often, and it just randomly pops in my head.
But you're like,
'Cause
nobody
I'm always-
appreciates this. Nobody understands how good it is. Yeah.
I don't think anybody does. Well, I'm sure there are people.
Yeah, like-
but it's
yeah,
not
like
like
11.
talked about on like. Yeah, it's not talked about like on the front of fucking newspapers or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, did you guys play Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2?
No.
Did you and I
So-
play it?
I think we did, Robert. I don't know. There are 3 or 4 like cutscenes in the game that are this almost flawless mix of the anime and 3D modeling, and the lighting, the shading, the rain effects, everything about it. And they pick the most emotional moments, like right before Bardock is killed, when future
Ooh.
Gohan is killed by the androids and Trunks goes Super Saiyan. You can see like the tears welling up in his eyes are rolling down his face.
Ooh.
It is one of the most beautiful, like beautifully
Love
animated
it.
scenes I've ever seen in my life. Like, and I'm always thinking about it because it's so fucking good. It's way above like the game's actual graphics.
That's what I'm talking about.
And it's almost better than the anime itself. Even like the new 3D half-ass movie they're doing now, it looks better than that. And I'm like, who the fuck animated these 3 or 4 game cutscenes to look this goddamn good? And I'm constantly thinking about it because when I think about that scene from the anime where Trunks finds Gohan's dead body, I think about that cutscene from Xenoverse. I don't think about the anime because that cutscene
That's what the
fully
fuck I'm
just
talking about.
transcended the
So
anime.
You gotta think of games too. Whenever they're games about franchises, sometimes you'll find that love letter. Like, hey, I really thoroughly enjoy this franchise, and I want to show you how much I enjoy it. Check out this.
Let me see if I can
scene.
send a fucking
And
like some.
yeah, I totally
screenshots
get
here.
that. Yeah.
Like this, I mean, it goes hard in those cutscenes for like what it is. Like versus like there are the like hand drawn cutscenes too, which I'm like, oh okay, it looks like the anime, whatever. But then there's like this weird like mesh of the two, and it just it has no reason to look as good as it looks.
I was gonna say if you want to talk about something like that just like I can't help but think of the cutscenes that Blizzard puts out, like with Diablo, that are far and away the absolute best in not only
Blizzard
video
goes
games, but I
hard
feel
in their
like
shit too.
it in just media in general. Like they could make an entire series just off of that, and it looks realistic.
Trying to find like another good picture. I was going to do a screen grab, but I can't fucking remember what buttons it is to screen.
I do
While Paul
think
does that, I'm gonna step out for just a second, guys. I'll be right back.
Dude,
Okay.
another thing that I think is nowhere near on the level of the Spyro trilogy soundtrack, but the first Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm, only the first one,
Yes.
you had free roam, true open free roam of the entire city. In the second one, it was like
I
segmented.
still hate you for that game.
In the second one, it was
And
like
you know
segmented. Like you would walk in and it was like the environment didn't move and you could move Naruto around in this still like 2D area. and then like you would walk out a frame and then it would cut to a new part of the town and you're walking around and it doesn't move. Trash, garbage. The first one, dude, the whole fucking village was open world. You could jump across all the roofs, and like the more you played the game, he could jump faster and like farther. And dude, just having actual real free roam of the whole city was so fucking cool, and nobody appreciates that shit, dude. There's not a single motherfucker that agrees with me on that. They're like, no, the Naruto games got better as time went on. I'm like, nope, you're wrong.
No, they did not.
You're wrong and stupid.
As an overall experience, I really do believe everybody, including non-gamers, should experience Portal.
Portal, yeah.
Nah, fuck Portal.
Portal's the shit, man.
Nope, dude. Portal sucks. You know what I wish I could do?
It introduces and uses physics and
Oh, no, that's good. I like that. Here's what would make Portal go from a 3 to a 10 for me. You ready? There's two things you could do.
Okay.
Either mute the television and turn the subtitles off, or change the audio of the game to Mandarin and give me Mandarin subtitles. Because the fucking AI, dude, it's not as cute as they think it is. It's not as funny as they think it is. It's annoying. It's like the prototype for video games that don't shut the fuck up. You're in a puzzle room. They're like, don't run off the cliff. I'd hate it if you did that. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Garbage.
Oh yeah, that's why you talked about hating the fucking
Like GLaDOS.
No, like the God of War.
The God of War. High on Life.
Yeah.
High on Life is like my literal nightmare. There was a fucking thing I tweeted today.
Did you play High on Life?
I would rather be tortured to death with bamboo sticks. Okay.
I just was wondering if you played it at all.
No, absolutely not.
You didn't have to go
So
all in
somebody shared
So
like a
hard.
little cutscene of the Forspoken, how bad the fucking dialogue is in Forspoken.
Oh yeah,
And
Forspoken's the worst.
somebody was like, if this is bad, then Gears of War, High on Life, Horizon, Days Gone, majority of Western shooters are also bad. And I was like, correct. Yes.
Yeah.
They're trash.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing that you said in the recording, I don't remember if it's one that actually posted or not, when you're like, it's okay, I already played it in the in God of War 1, God of War 2, God of War 3, Uncharted.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember
it's the same
that.
game, dude. Same fucking game over and over.
Well, that's because I mentioned before too. Now that they've got those options now where you can turn down how often the shit speaks to you, and I'm like, if that
insane.
has to be implemented, you shouldn't put it in the fucking game.
That
There's
was
something wrong.
the last.
I know why that's happening, and it just makes me sad. Have you guys seen,
Like-
this is a phenomenon. Have you guys seen what's called sludge content? Are you aware of this?
No.
No. what is
So
that?
it's a video that you may see on like an Instagram Explore page where it's a video of anything, someone talking, a person talking. And in the same video is they've spliced in another video of like Temple Run. And then they've spliced in
yeah.
another
That's the
video
worst.
of something else going on. And they do this to keep people's minds, specifically kids, as stimulated as possible. So they're giving them something to listen to, something to watch, and then like a third thing going on just to occupy
That's
that.
the worst.
And I feel like
hate
that's
that
what
shit.
games are now. It's like they can't let you be quiet and sit alone in silence and think about the game and think about your experience. They're like, we'll lose them. We have to keep talking.
It's the ADHD complex.
Oh God, kill me, dude.
It's
Yeah,
so
right.
because I've actually been playing a lot of those games that you're talking about. Like, I started playing God of War Ragnarok,
Yep.
and I was starting to get pissed at it because Mimir or fucking
Oh, yeah.
Atreus straight tell me what to do for
Yeah,
puzzles, and I'm
it's
like,
unreal.
I can see
I hate
it.
that so much.
It's unreal, dude.
And then
Try
I've
using
been
your
playing
axe on
High
the
on
water.
Life.
Hey, dude, suck me
Yeah.
off. Shut up.
It's like, God damn, I got up to get a glass of water and you just told me how to beat the game.
They've like moved you ahead in the game. They skipped it for you.
Right. Here, we see you've been stuck at this scene for a while. We're just going to go ahead and progress the story without you.
You're like, I was gone for
I
9
know-
seconds. They're like, don't worry.
I
Don't worry.
know in High on Life, because I've been playing that too. If you go into audio option, I'm looking at it right now. There is how often the enemies talk and how often your gun talks, and you can turn that shit all the way down.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like the
I
fact that those
noticed
options
in,
exist.
Dang it. Crap.
This
Horizon.
Forspoken demo had it too,
That's
Yeah.
insane, dude.
where you could turn down
I can
how
move
often
shit with my
your fucking shit
freaking
talk.
mind. Kill me. God, kill me.
Forspoken's just a bad game, though. I hated every minute of that demo. I absolutely hated that game.
Good. I like that energy from you, Paul. It's rare to see. Usually you're like, well, hold on. I mean, the movement was pretty good.
So it was, but the game was bad.
Okay,
so that doesn't
good.
save it. Like the combat's not very good, and the chatter is too consistent, and it's another one of those big worlds with nothing in it. So you're just picking up shit. So there's no substance, and it felt empty and soulless, and I did not like it.
Yeah.
Oh, my second thing though, because the phone background, I have Firelink Shrine as my phone background because I adore that Dark Souls challenging combat stuff. Like I have played every Souls, like all the mainstream Souls games, everything like that, and I don't know what it is about that gameplay style. I know everybody fucking like jacks off to it. You know, they fucking love that fucking shit. But I have always kind of been for it.
Yeah, I remember
even
that
when
about
it pisses
you.
me off immensely.
I remember you loving Demon Souls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I beat Demon Souls finally, which was insane. But graphically, I really like the remake. Like it looked really, really fucking good.
They look fine, but I just don't want my blood pressure to take the hit.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't play it. You guys remember me at work.
I remember
I was high strung enough.
You gave me the strategy guide for it. You had a hardback strategy guide that you got like as a manager gift or some shit, and you gave it to me.
I'll say, did he give it to you, or was it quote zeroed out?
I think you gave me that one.
No, I think I gave him that because it had like the artwork and stuff. They gave.
Yeah,
it to
I got
me
the
at
art book.
conference.
I still have
Yeah,
that art book on my desk.
I remember that. That was pretty cool.
I am
Well-
confident that I had at least 25 strategy guides that were pennied
Oh,
out.
pennies. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many strat guides I had on my shelf from the store, man. I
In at
couldn't-
least
I couldn't
4
bring myself
copies
to tear
of
the
that
bitches up.
Skyrim strat guide that had the map and shit in it,
Right.
but it was awesome.
Dude, I still
so-
have all my Pokemon guidebooks, all of them.
Yes. Well,
got-
hey,
I
another.
should have it
I'm gonna
even open.
I'm gonna have another answer for you.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of those things, and you'll see it actually now like crazy on TikTok and stuff because all of our age group are starting to post it now. For me, it was like the Nintendo's ding at the very beginning with the little red Nintendo word. But then you see people posting like the original PlayStation startup
Oh,
chime,
yeah, dude.
Yes.
The
the
PS2
startup
shit,
time
man.
for a console. Yeah,
Oh,
any
GameCube.
of the startups for any of the consoles, I think is just pivotal for any.
The DS.
Agreed. It triggers so many memories, so many emotions.
Oh, dude.
Pretty much all those old soundtracks too, like especially Mega Man X. Like I think about that opening menu music, like that rock and roll riff that they went so hard on, like just in the beginning tutorial stage. I think about it a lot.
Seriously, Capcom had it down.
Yeah,
It's true.
for like 2 years, and then they
And then Konami. Yeah, Konami had some good stuff in the beginning too.
yeah,
But
back in the day.
shoot,
And now they've lost Hideo Kojima, and it's like, oh fuck.
yeah.
All right, Rob, what else do you
Or
have
sorry,
for us?
they got rid of him.
What do you have for crazy, deep questions? What do you have?
Crazy deep questions.
He's looking at his notepad like, oh, I had what's your favorite cereal? I had fucking, what's your favorite time to
Hey, that's
crush?
a good question. Though.
Wheaties, man.
Oreo O's.
I mean, I've got a couple of different things that's written down.
Run it.
As you know.
I did appreciate that. Good. I love
Yeah,
Yakuza.
I
That's-
know.
One
Wait,
thing.
what did I miss? Yakuza. Wait, what?
There's a
The-
GIF in
the
in
GIF
the Discord?
When I was
In the-
telling you guys I was back, I put a GIF in Discord.
I'll have to go see. I love Yakuza.
fucking Kiryu just kicking in the fucking door. Bitch does
Is that
everything
real?
dramatic. And
That's
I love
from a game? That's awesome.
Yeah,
I
Yakuza
love
thing.
Kiryu, dude.
That's pretty good. That's
Oh,
pretty good.
yeah, dude. The art in that game, Paul. it's
Have
fucking
y'all,
crazy.
speaking of that, have you seen the gameplay from Like a Dragon Ishin?
Oh, dude.
No, I have not.
so
That's good stuff.
So
Looks
Kiryu in the
insane.
fucking 1800s is killing me because like I saw a farming thing and like
Yeah.
some other little activities you can do, and he does it all super dramatically,
awesome.
like
Yeah.
and I'm like, yes.
I love
That's
it,
the
dude.
best.
Love
That's
it.
the best. I
Fucking love
that
it.
shit.
It's pretty good.
It's like he wouldn't be Kiryu if he didn't be over dramatic with it. Just fuck it.
All right, Rob. We won't interrupt you anymore.
No.
Sorry, Robert.
You're good. You're good. There's two things that on here
So
that I
Tyler,
kind
Yes.
of.
Paul,
I do
mute
need.
Rob for a moment.
Okay, sure.
I do need
I
to
have
kind
that
of.
power.
Who's Rob?
But
I don't.
Just ban him.
You assume I have power over this podcast.
No, I know Rob's
just
not that
here.
stupid.
no.
You wake up and Paul would be
literally
like,
just
I accidentally banned myself and you.
We suddenly lost the IP. We don't own any of this.
I sold it to Elon Musk. I'm sorry.
Hey, Elon, if you're listening to this, I'm just saying everybody's got a
Yeah.
price.
Yeah. You
And my
throw us a
price
bone,
is
that'd be
substantially lower than most people.
You would probably
Keep
pay
that
us
in
to
mind.
stop making this. It'd be a cease and desist.
fun. He probably would. Yes, he probably would. It'd be a hush hush cease and desist. Yes, I agree.
But I've got a
All
note.
right, what you got?
I've got a note on here that I figured could be, a good conversation starter, in that it's expensive to be broke, and it blows my
Yeah.
mind. I'm not saying that I'm like well off or whatever, but like our bills get paid on time kind of deal. We're
Flex.
slightly better than we go check to
Flexing
check.
so hard it's unbelievable.
I also work 2 jobs.
Flexing.
Yeah, flakes. Yeah, like,
I
in
work
this
like
economy,
60 hours
flex.
a week. So I mean, it's
Well, I mean, hey, me and Rob were talking about this the other night, actually, and yeah, I definitely agree with you, dude. It's like when you think about, man, my paycheck, I make this much a year. How in the world
Do I
am
have nothing?
broke?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of felt that way too.
And the quick run of the mill answer to that is we
Bills.
just kind of spoil ourselves a little too much.
Yep.
We get used to it, and it becomes the norm.
Yep, I eat out
Dude,
like
that
all the
was-
time. Yeah.
That's
Exactly, like, or I DoorDash to work all
Yup.
the time,
Yeah.
and that right there is the prime answer to why we feel broke all the time.
it's
Well,
And it just takes
so
this
weird.
willpower of being frugal. Because like one of my best friends from high school, he is like the most miserly, penny pinching Scrooge I ever met,
Mhm.
and he just keeps socking the stuff away. And then one of these days, he just comes like, "Oh, I bought Apple. I bought Apple.
Well,
oh,
I mean,
you
so-
got an
well,
Apple? That's
that's-
great. You trying to eat healthy? No, I just bought the entire company.
so
so
It wouldn't surprise me because the
that
dude doesn't do anything with his money.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean that's very much the case as well. We do kind of end up changing our lifestyles to kind of fit whatever income it is that we have coming in. But more
the
to
leftover.
what I was trying to get to was like the fees and shit that go on top of not being able to pay for stuff, or like what Paul has going on healthcare wise, or
yeah, I can't
Oh,
afford health insurance,
like
so I have to just
Fucking
be
car
ill.
insurance.
yeah,
and-
like
I
it-
can
it
afford my
just-
car
it-
insurance.
It blows my mind how like it's actually cheaper to be on top of things like pay your bills off and all that stuff. It makes sense that there are late fees or are incentives to not
Interest
be
rates.
late.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, in Florida, it's going to cost me almost $300 a month for healthcare, and I just can't afford that.
Dude,
And
that's
see, what's
insane.
I just can't. That's the lowest.
So
Paul,
like
just
a
come work at
$4,000
my
deductible.
company. Just come. It's so
Or
much,
$9,000.
such a quality of life
sorry.
upgrade. Leave everything that you have behind. Come down. Live outside.
Yeah, I did that once, and it did not
live
work out.
outside.
Yeah, you can't stay here, even though we have rooms. You can't stay here. You got to be somewhere else,
Uh,
about 20 to 25 miles away from me. But I will help you.
There's a nice palm tree down the street that doesn't give any shade. So you can live right under it. Yeah, that's the
Well,
problem.
unfortunately, they don't pay you for being homeless in Florida. Like,
well, I mean, so it's like to Paul's point with the health insurance, like it. So like right now, my health insurance total every paycheck, my company, my employer pays like $220 per paycheck. So it's like 400 and some change or whatever. And that's not including the like $60 that I pay out of pocket. So it's like if you look dollars to dollars in this specific example, yeah, $300, $400, $500 a month is about right. But having this job comes with benefits, blah blah blah. So I pay like $30 for health insurance, and I can go and see my doctor for like $20. Meanwhile, Paul's over here with
They hit me
$300
up at the desk
out of
like,
his-
hey, you got to pay us $300 before we'll even see you.
It amazes me how sometimes how this works out, because you can also make the argument, Paul, you could get a better job. You've had a better job.
I've had in the past, yeah, but my physical ailments have
Don't
increased.
say GameStop. Please don't.
No,
say
I
GameStop.
worked for the government. I worked at the prison system,
Yeah.
and I worked for the Department of
No,
Retirement.
Yeah, prison system's not a good job.
But
It
what I'm saying though is that
paid
like
pretty
those
good and had
benefits
benefits.
are
It had
available or
benefits,
were
yes.
available.
Well, the first year I didn't have benefits because it was an OPS, but eventually I moved into a more permanent thing. So
But I just find it's amazing to that fact that I feel like you have
Dude, sucks.
more fees and more there are more things going on to keep a person below
poor.
the poverty rate poor when it
Yes,
comes
it
to
But
does.
what's
how
really
America
crazy?
works.
What's really crazy is I have a friend that I'm not going to name drop him or anything, but he's younger than me. I think he's 27, and fresh out of college, he got this job coding. He made like nothing crazy, like 60, I think. Applied for Amazon, got triple that. I was like, oh, holy shit. Okay, I'm making not triple. He was making 140 at Amazon. Applied for he saw a position at Snapchat as a joke. Got it. Makes $480,000 a year now. And
Wow.
I talked to him about it because he and I play League together, and I'm like, what is it like to be so insanely wealthy? And he's like, when you have this much wealth, you really can see all of the safety nets that you have. Nobody wants you to fail when you have this much money. There are so many things working for you when you have this much.
Yeah,
that
tax
he's like,
breaks are insane.
he's like, it feels like
Welcome
unfair.
to the 1%.
Yeah, it's crazy to hear. And I'm like, what do you want to do
They-
with
they-
your money? He's like, oh, just
it's-
like play League and hang
So,
out.
well, that's why you always hear, you can make money when you have money, or you'll make more money.
But he
when you
can't
have
take
more
that
money.
shit out of the bank ever.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I tell you, yes, I agree. Like you got to be enough of a go-getter to go after it, but some of that shit just it's sheer dumb luck.
Yep.
Love
And
stuff,
it can piss somebody off, 'cause
Yeah.
if I'm lucky, I'll hit 6 figures with a bonus.
Yeah.
But that's the only way I'll clear 6 figures right now. But I try to challenge myself. Maybe I need to change jobs,
Right.
and then go for something more. But then it's just baby steps for me, because retail sucks.
It's
So it's like the only real way that you can drastically improve your situation is you go drastically upward.
Yeah.
But it's all about who whose dick you want to suck or some shit like that, right?
if you have the
So,
degree to
let's-
open certain doors.
Let's face it. Well, degrees don't matter anymore.
True.
Everybody
Wow.
knows that.
Based. Thank you, Frank.
Everybody knows that the education system in America is a joke anyway.
I mean, you
it's
say
just a
that,
cash
but
cow.
I've been turned down for so many jobs just because I didn't even have a bachelor's degree or an associate's or anything,
You,
and they
you just don't know
like,
how
we
to sell
need that.
yourself, Paul. You got to sell yourself better.
I
all
tried.
it takes.
That's how I ended up in the prison.
'Cause
I should
look-
not have been picked
you
for
look
that
at
job.
your-
I had no experience.
Well, look, they were desperate. So-
Obviously,
No, you take
I even
into
asked.
account.
I was like, "Why
you've-
was I hired?"
You've gotten a degree. You've gotten a degree, Paul. It's just not from a school. You got your degree from hard knocks.
Yeah.
You've been living long. You've
Talk
got
to
plenty
'em.
of experience. You got
I
to
do-
sell it.
I do now,
plain and simple.
and I can see that like with my resume and where I've been and how varied of work that I've done over the years. Not just like retail, with GameStop and Toys R Us and doing like department supervisor and stuff like that. But now I've got the prison under my belt, and I've got the Department of Retirement. Now I've worked with animals, and I have experience working with animals, so it's a bit easier to get in with like trying to put my foot through the door if like I wanted to go
Thought you
to
got
vet reception.
Experience with animals at
and work my way
GameStop.
up through that.
There's that too.
Yes, I do.
Got 'em.
People
Yeah.
animals.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
The worst kind of animal.
Accurate.
Pissed off Albanians.
Yes.
Not from the country
Yes.
like Georgia. Sorry. Not that country either.
He's being racist.
Fuck.
I do agree with the sentiment that degrees don't mean anything anymore. However, the only reason why I have the job I have is because of the education that I got.
Yeah.
So to kind of,
I mean, it
contradict myself, yeah, in medical field,
In some
or
law.
It's like if you have
high
church as well.
technology and law, you have to have the degree, right?
Like,
'Cause
I
you have
wouldn't
to
be
have that
allowed to be an
formal
architect.
education. Yeah, something that's
Paul, they don't even allow
gonna
you at
govern
Wendy's
people's
anymore.
lives.
Or an archaeologist. I can't be an archaeologist without a degree.
Yeah. But
Even
you
though
can be
that's-
an old person.
I
You
can't be an old
and
person.
Paul
Yeah,
is
you
well
can be
on
an
his
old
way to
So
being an
you
old
can-
person.
Dude,
You can
professional
live out
old
your
person.
childhood dream.
I'm going to
of
find a way to
being an old person.
monetize that. I'm going to figure it out. How to monetize being an
old?
old
Just-
person.
Just write a bunch of back in my day memes. You'll be fine.
I probably will. I am trying to seriously. One of my New Year's like plans, not resolution,
God,
because
you're-
it's
We're
a
not
definite-
serious about this, Paul. Please don't be
I'm
serious.
not
about this.
not an old man. No, damn it. I'm going to finish my book. I'm going to finish writing it. I'm already like 4 or 5 chapters in. I'm
right.
going to finish my book, and I'm going
Hey.
to get that published, and I'm going.
Kudos
That's,
to you, man.
yeah.
Kudos to you. I've been saying I'm gonna write a book for like 20 something years, and I've yet to get past like 20 pages. I can't do it.
Well, so I sat down.
I need money too much. I can't live without the money, unfortunately.
Just the little bit of experience that I have from you in storytelling when it comes to like the D&D campaigns or whatever, I would be all about it. I would immediately buy the book
Dude, I
as soon
love
as it's
fantasy shit,
available.
too.
Hey, listen, I love it. I love telling the stories. It's just
I've
finding
got-
the time to sit down and write when you got to go work, pay the bills, and then by
Yeah.
the time you get home, you're too tired to do anything.
I could write for
your
you.
brain is exhausted.
Yeah.
But that's why I liked playing D&D, because it was kind of a way for me to recreate and write at the same time.
Right.
I could
and
go.
That's why it breaks my heart that we don't really play anymore. I can't find anybody that wants to play, and I tell you, I actually get depressed about it sometimes when I think about it, because
Yeah.
it's one of those, high on life outlets that you kind of crave.
Yeah.
And the social interactions are one thing, but for me, it's the stories. I love to tell the stories, and now I can't really share them as much. So I'm stuck.
Bro.
Yeah, I'm stuck talking about farm animals and tractors.
Look, man,
Stupid shit.
we can spitball ideas, because I'm also writing a fantasy novel, but I could ghostwrite for you in my free time. I've got way more free time, and
That
I
is
could,
accurate.
I could help write stuff
not,
for you.
Well, it's not the same, Paul.
I know it's
I'm
not the
sorry.
same,
It's
But
it's not what I'm going for. And the thing I'm talking about with D&D is like, as the dungeon master or game master, whatever you want to call it, it's not about being the guy that tells you what you can and can't do. It's about this guy who just or girl, sorry, who paints this amazing tapestry of a setting to
yeah.
like really truly immerse you in the world, right? And then it's me telling a story, but letting the players actually create their own stories to further enhance my story, and then give them a story of their own to tell. It's kind of hard to explain, but I think that's the best way I could sum it up. Like, it's almost a drug for me. When I give them this story that they'll talk about for years. I've got players that's like, oh my God, I remember that one thing. Like Paul, right? Or not Paul, Rob with the Porthole Mermaid, right? It's a story you won't forget. And it's something that you may have contributed wholly to, and you're going to keep talking about it, or one of your favorite characters. And it's just something about that. It's awesome.
So
And
I know
that's
it's not the same, but I was thinking like every other podcast, maybe we could do a D&D like get together, like virtual over the the computer.
Yeah, if
Zoom
you guys
call
get
or
your
some shit.
webcams fired up,
Yeah,
because we did that for the
Yeah,
podcast one time. It was really fun.
I'll
I think
wear
we talked
my
about it
wizard hat.
before.
Yeah,
It's
I don't know. It's an idea. Maybe because you're
Yeah.
doing this recreationally for like
we
an
could
hour or
definitely
two.
try it, but
Yeah.
that's a lot of recording. Poor
Yeah.
Rob is gonna blow his brains out when he's got to edit down
He'll be all right.
6 hours.
He'll
worth
be
of
I
footage.
honestly, I would just
Dude,
post it.
but
wouldn't
I
worry
think
about
that
doing
might, because
anything.
I've noticed on YouTube there's a lot of like podcast and like YouTube channels that are doing like D&D stuff, like where they're like filming their campaigns and whatever, they're doing it virtually.
Oh yeah.
And they like put it
Yeah.
up, and I don't know. I mean, maybe it's something to look into. I just throwing ideas up.
Oh no, I agree, but then again, it's still finding the right people, and for me, it's all about FaceTime.
Yeah.
And,
I got you.
know,
That's what the webcam.
the recordings miss certain things, and then I can't read a player's face or their body language when I'm playing virtually like this.
Full frontal.
Or
web-
confirm that they
sometimes-
actually did roll a 20.
Well, I'm gonna be
Well,
honest
we
with you.
could set up a digital dice that like
So-
everybody could see, like on Discord or something.
Rob, I'm gonna let you in on a little D&D secret for Dungeon Masters, right? Rules don't matter. None of it matters. All that matters is the story. And if a player desperately wants to pull something off, you're gonna make it happen. How many times did I fudge rolls so you guys could pull off some amazing trick that you come up with?
I mean, yeah, that's true.
Right? So it does that crap doesn't matter. I could sit here and just play D&D with you guys right now. No books, no dice, nothing. And I think everybody have a blast. The problem
Fuck
is
yeah, dude.
it's give and take. So I'm looking for these cues. If you're interested, I'm getting hyped up. I'm getting really into it.
Right.
But if I don't see your body language, if I can't interpret it while I'm telling the story, I kind of lose a little bit of luster, if that makes sense. It's a little bit.
We'd have to find a way.
It's almost
for it
jaded.
to, like I said, with the webcam for one, where we could all call each other, but then also like a way for us to interact on the computer. I'm sure there's a way to fuck it.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
there's
We-
100% way.
We could do the video chat thing too. I get it. It's just for me.
I know it's not
about
the same.
It's
but we
the
are-
ambiance.
We
So,
are scattered, like
Yes.
across the four winds here. Like
I mean,
we
come
are
on,
all
it's hard
very
enough to get
separate
Tyler
locations.
on at the same time as the rest of us.
That's accurate.
Can you
Well,
imagine
he would
trying
be-
Paul
to-
at the same time.
He would be our
Heard.
come and go like mercenary character who gets like drunk and falls asleep for like 2 weeks somewhere. You know, like he's fun. We can.
Yeah, you guys just happen upon me again. I'm like, hey,
Yeah, it's like, oh, hey, there's
Hey.
Tyler. We lost you. Like he's like floating down a river in a barrel or some shit. Like it's fun,
Right.
you know.
Right. Just pops up out of a ditch from a
It's missing his shirt
drunken,
and shit.
drunken
Yeah,
coma. He just wakes up out of rises from the marsh.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, there's Tyler. Just when we needed you.
Danny Mo.
Us dead most now.
On that note, I have to go.
Yeah, I was about to say, I gotta
Oh.
wind it down too.
Oh,
It's
Wow.
about 20 minutes ago. Aaron asked if I was about to wrap it up. I was like, yeah, we're pretty close.
tell her.
And that's when you
that-
laid it down.
that
You're like,
gotta
I'm
spend time
done
with
when I
us.
say I'm done. She was like, I'm sorry, Rob. You're right.
Damn it, woman!
Yeah, there you go.
Don't make me smack you
No
one.
more Rob.
Yeah, we sure haven't heard anything from him on the Discord recently. What? I wonder what happened.
He went quiet.
We just hear, we hear like,
raging poo.
we hear just like, no, it
Fucking,
was
she's gonna be on a Netflix murder documentary. How to get
Just
away
cuts
with
off.
murder.
It's
yeah.
not even static. It just cuts off, and all of a sudden, the little green dot next to my icon just goes red.
Yeah, you just hear that. You hear the Discord, the leave sound, just doo-doo. We're like, oh no.
That's great.
Oh my god.
Strangled
be like
with his
that-
own
that
headset
Netflix-
cord.
That Netflix, you don't fuck with cats. I don't know if you watched that Netflix.
I couldn't. No,
documentary.
I can't.
No.
Any animal torture, dude, I can't.
No. You don't see any of that. It's they're catching this murderer from this video of him torturing cats. They like set out to go after this guy, and they find out he's the actual killer. So
Oh, Jesus.
this online internet group like starts doing their own online internet justice kind of thing, detective work, and they actually caught the guy. It was
Dude,
it was
that's
a really
dope.
cool
What?
documentary.
That's
You
pretty
should
cool.
definitely check it out. It's called Don't Fuck with Cats on Netflix. It's really cool.
Rob, I will get my audio to you in about 2 to 3 business decades, if that works for you.
Yeah. So hey, let's do our signature sign off there, Paul, and we'll go.
Oh,
ahead
is it
What's
time
the
to go?
signature
Stuff
sign off?
to Rob.
Everybody say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you,
I've got
everybody. For listening.
I've got a dad
Oh,
joke.
this thing.
I've got a dad
Oh
joke.
yeah, the dad joke.
It's
Oh,
pretty
dad
quick.
joke first.
It's pretty quick. I just wanted to let everybody know that I got fired from the keyboard factory just for missing a shift. Goodbye, everybody.
I forgot what my sign off is.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I'd forget after that bad joke too.
It's
Yeah.
been so
I
long.
think that gave me a learning
Do I
disability.
just say goodbye, everybody? I don't even know anymore. Duh. I can't do it. Yeah. No, yeah, I can't do it.
Excuses.
Goodbye, everybody. It's been so fucking long. I can't fucking. I'd have to practice it.
Giggity, giggity, go.
Oh my god.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. You can email us at akettleofishpodcast@gmail.com or call us at 615-933-1855. Hope to catch you next week.